It's time for some big back activities. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's World. Got the headband on. I'm in the lab at the gym. I decided to go ahead and start doing my my car talk just before I get into the gym. Give me some feedback, but that way I'm not moving around and there's not a bunch of rattling, and I think you can maybe hear me talk a little bit better. But it is Tuesday. It is November 18th. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. It is raining out here in Arizona, which is nice. I hope it doesn't get crazy, because the last time I came to the gym when it was raining, like, I couldn't even leave. Like, nobody could leave the gym. We're at the front door, and like you couldn't leave. Like, it was raining that bad. You could leave, but you're gonna get soaked. So had to let it die down. Eventually was able to leave after about 20 minutes or so. But with that, because I'm not gonna get my shoes soaked and all that, is nothing worse than soaked shoes. Excuse me. So really quick, it is back day, biceps. My shoulders feel great after yesterday. I feel nice and not tight, but my traps feel good. I think I hit those really nice yesterday. And so I usually don't work out like shrugs. I don't shrug. I feel like my traps are kind of overdeveloped, so I focus more on my rear delts and my my other delts and my shoulders. And so I don't shrug or anything like that, because I feel like it's just I've always had developed traps. And so you might notice in my videos I never do shrugs, is because if I start doing them, I don't know, like I said, I look like Brock Lesnar or anything like that. But I just think that they're developed enough right now where I'm like, okay, the shoulders are starting to catch up, the rear delts are starting to catch up. I'm like, now let me go ahead and maybe start integrating some shrugs as we move forward, but we'll see. But one thing I wanted to do really quick is, first of all, I'm going to do my car talk maybe when I actually get to the gym versus on the way to the gym. I feel like you guys can maybe hear me better. Leave your feedback in the comments section. That way there's not a bunch of, plus it's safer, right? But I think as far as I'm not wearing a mic. My GoPro is the mic. And so I think you guys can just hear me better. So beyond everything else, I feel like I can just kind of focus and talk to you guys before I head in, and give myself some time to kind of hydrate. So with it being back day, I have my lifting straps. I use these same ones I got from Pump Chasers. Chris Jones. Shout out to Chris Beast Mode Jones. If you don't know his channel, it is Pump Chasers, or just look up Chris Beast Mode Jones. A lot of great tutorials that are on there. I learned a lot when I was kind of getting into the gym game, as you could say. And man, fitness content back from 2015 to 2020, 2019 went hard. And so shout out Chris. And so one thing I want to touch on is I posted the same video on TikTok and on Instagram. If you guys are curious to check out my socials, it's the same name, Jay Weezy's World. And so, with that, I want to just thank the folks that left a nice comment. I'll take the commentary, good, bad, or indifferent, because one, the positive feedback is humbling to hear. The negative feedback, I use it as, I'm not going to say fuel, but it kind of reinstates the point of I need to continue to lose weight. Because if I don't, or if I wasn't where I'm at now, you wouldn't have something to say about my weight. So it doesn't bother me. For me, like, man, like, my attitude ever since I was born is a lot of things don't faze me. So I just kind of just use it as just perspective. And at the end of the day, like, it's on me to get the work done. But I just want to humbly thank everybody that left feedback and, subscribed to the channel. And again, it's very humbling, and I appreciate that, and I thank all of you guys. And so I appreciate all the views as we move forward, because we are on the road to 200 subscribers. I appreciate you guys sharing the videos. I noticed the videos are being shared as well. And I try to, even though it's predominantly in the gym, I try to switch things up, but being, just kind of being myself, meal prep, and, I'm just a regular dude working a 9 to 5, and, that's pretty much it. And so I feel like, based on how I'm feeling with my shoulders, I was going to do core and cardio today based on my schedule, but with the fact that I'm on PTO, or I have the day off, I head back to work tomorrow, I figured I'd switch it and do back and biceps today, and then do core and cardio tomorrow. I'm still going to do cardio today, but I mean, just focusing on core since I didn't do it yesterday. because really, truly, I usually do core in and of itself on my stretching days. And so I figure with having to go to work tomorrow to kind of keep the schedule easy, I am going to do that tomorrow, either in the morning or in the evening, because even though it might be crazy, it'll be easy to accomplish, which is doing my cardio and my core and get my stretching in. So what else? I think that's kind of it. I feel hydrated. I feel good. The gym doesn't look too packed. It's nice when it started to get to that cold winter time. There's less and less people coming, but I know within about an hour to an hour and a half, people are going to start getting out of school and getting out of work. So I'm going to go ahead and head inside, and then I'll see you guys after the workout to kind of talk about the workout. So I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, let's go unwiden this back. So let's go ahead and chop it up real quick. So of course, before I get these lats pull downs started, I'm going to stretch out my lats. And what I'll do is I'll actually hold on to that bar and kind of use my body weight to stretch out the lats, stretch out that fascia before I get into my sets. So first I'm going to go ahead, get in without my straps, get in a couple warm-up sets. I'm going to get in 2 warm-up sets of about 8 to 10 repetitions. And of course, as I am extending all the way to the top, I'm letting those lats stretch up and pull down through my elbow, not through my bicep. Let's go ahead and strap up. I don't know what it is about this angle. I love the GoPro. I kind of feel like a 90s Busta Rhymes kind of fishbowl look. I'm kind of digging it. Not going to lie, I'm kind of digging it. Let me know what you guys think. I just think the GoPro, man, for some reason, I just like the way the shots look. That's just, obviously I'm probably biased because of my video, but let me know what you guys think. But getting into my work-in sets, I'm getting in 3 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions. I am going a bit higher on the weight. So for me, at least, right now I have 165 pounds on. Pull-ups have never been my strong suit, but me being a bigger dude, I'm like, let me go ahead and increase the weight and really put some pressure on my lats to grow and get my strength up, because you never know when a life event may happen and you need to save your life. You need to be able to pull yourself up, right? And that's real deal, real life stuff. One thing I want to do though, this lady next to me doesn't know me, but man, she was getting in the work. She was doing her lat pull downs, moving from one machine to another. I love when people come in and just get to work. So now I'm going to go ahead, after the work-in sets are done, I didn't film all of them, I'm going to go ahead and get into my reverse pull downs. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I love to use this easy bar. The reason why I like using the easy bar, first of all, I want to call out, I'm not using straps on this. Just it's awkward to me using straps on this, but I use the easy bar curl because it's easier on the wrist. If I'm using a straight bar pulling down, it kind of exposes my wrists a little bit more and actually makes it uncomfortable, where it's actually flaring out too much, and don't want to jack up my wrists. It's just me personally. That's something I picked up from Chris Gethin in one of his programs years ago. And ever since I introduced the easy bar to the reverse, if I can, I'm going to use it, and that's it. So I'm going to get in 3 sets here again. Of my goal was about 6 to 8 repetitions. I got about 8 per set. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the close bar. What is it? Usually this is for seated lat pulls, but I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and switch it up and do it on the cable pull down. Reason being is I still wanted to focus on these lats today, so I want to get that far stretch up, stretch out that lat, and then pull down to my chest so I can work in and squeeze on that inner back. Let's hydrate a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get the strap so I can go ahead and take the weight off of my grip. And I tell you what, once I strapped up, I felt like this thing was that much lighter. So in my next set, I'm actually going to increase the weight. So again, 3 sets. My goal here was actually 8 to 10. Reason being is that I'm kind of filling things out. I really want to make sure in that second, third, for that last 2 to 3 reps, I'm really feeling it. So I may adjust my rep range if I can't increase the weight. And I believe with this, get it, Jay Weezy, my weight I think was 145 or 160. I don't remember now. So moving on to the seated The seated single arm pulls, I was going to do bent over dumbbells, but the dumbbell area was kind of busy. So I love this machine where I can get a nice stretch on my lat. And I like the angle this GoPro is coming through. I don't know. Kind of look like I'm you know, like just the gains are shining down on me, telling me to get it. You're growing, you're chopping down this fat. I don't know, just the angle, just the way the shot looks. That's just me. Maybe I'm a little amped up right now doing this voiceover. I got a couple sips of coffee in me and I'm feeling good. But getting in again 3 sets. Because I'm doing rows, I'm going to go a little bit higher. So I'm looking for about 10 to 12 repetitions. I do like to do single arm if I can because it allows me to kind of focus on the one side to make sure my strength is even on both sides of these. Lat pulls or rows takes a lot out of me. Look, woo, starting to look kind of stacked there, Wheezy. So, of course, I'm going to get in my hyperextensions to get in that lower back. So with hyperextensions, they're not fun to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys 1 set. I'm getting in 3 sets. I always go a higher rep range on hyperextension, so I'm going about 12 to 15 repetitions. Honestly, the weight can get pretty high on here, so I don't recall exactly what it is. Pretty much almost a full stack. I think just naturally being a bigger person because I'm constantly bending over, down, up, down, that the weight's kind of easy, which is why later on I kind of mentioned that I might start getting more into rack pulls. But I'm very happy with the back portion of the workout. I felt like I got a good workout in my inner back, the lats, and then my lower back as well. So I feel like this was pretty solid today. Going to go ahead and move on to biceps. This machine I love. I was going to do dumbbell preacher curls, but this machine was open. And I feel like it really allows me to kind of isolate my arm. As you guys can see, you could do both arms at one time. I prefer to do one. Reason being is because I feel like it gets to a point where if you're lifting heavy enough and you're using both arms, sometimes you can start, if you're getting to the point where you're near failure, you start using your shoulders or your back a little bit more. Well, I'd rather hold on to one side of the pad and just focus on my bicep and try to bring that pinky as close as I can to my front delt because I don't like to go halfway. I really want to, if I can, bring it all the way to my front delt if I can, so I can really get that separation between the short head and long head of the bicep. So switching up the shot here a little bit, that way you can kind of maybe get some perspective on how the machine looks from a different angle. Again, holding on to one side, so I'm not pulling with that side. I'm just focusing on my bicep and getting in the squeeze at the top. But if you don't have this machine at your gym, if you happen to see it personally, I really like it when it comes to doing biceps. I feel like it puts a lot of pressure and really kind of tests your strength because you're prone in a prone position. You can't move. So one thing I will say, I am left-handed. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I am left-handed. So that's also another reason why I like to make sure that if I can do single arm or single arm movements to kind of even out my distribution as far as my strength goes, because my left hand naturally is stronger than my right hand. So now with this, I did struggle. This was my last set. So on my right, I did struggle to get the last rep or two out. So I'm going to take a quick break. I could have just said, hey, you know what? I'm done here, done with my set because I did feel good. But I'm like, nah, I'm going to try to get a couple more reps out on my right side to finish off this bicep workout on this machine before I move on. Super proud of myself for doing that. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself because you're gonna regret it if you don't. Now what I'm doing here is drag curls. I'm going to show you guys 2 different angles. You notice my elbow and my shirt obviously have a long sleeve here, so you can't necessarily see it. So my elbow is almost kind of behind my back versus naturally you have your elbows in front of you and you have your hands in front of you doing curls, where it's almost like doing incline dumbbell curls, where I like to incorporate the drag curls with the cable because cables is going to give you, of course, resistance all the way through. Switch up the angle. And so look, see, not up front, we rock it right back. And I don't know why I do this Pledge of Allegiance thing. Whenever I'm doing these, I kind of hold my other half of my body or my chest. just something I do unconsciously. I think it's kind of funny. But I'm going to get in 3 sets of about 10 to 12 repetitions, if I recall. Getting these drag curls, one side per. I'm not going to film every single set, just for time's sake. But at the last 2 to 3 reps, I really want to feel that squeeze. It's almost like if you had a walnut between your front delt and your bicep. You want to be able to come all the way up enough to where your pinky's almost again touching that front delt. Where if you had a walnut right there, you're cracking it with that bicep, baby. So, you want to be able to make sure you get that full extension and squeeze at the top. We don't go halfway around here. I have a lot of progress I need to make, so I want to make sure I'm maximizing every repetition, every meal, and my cardio. So now, looking kind of slim there. I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the scale says one thing, but then my body's saying another. Meaning I'm dropping weight on the scale for sure, but I look at the measurements, I look at the video. I don't know. That's another reason why I like doing the voiceover, so I can kind of watch myself, and so hopefully you guys can appreciate where I'm coming from. So now moving on, of course, to rope hammer curls. I'm going to get in 3 sets of about 10 to 12 repetitions. I didn't film every single set. We're going to bring it a little bit closer. And I don't know why there's a big open gym, but these dudes walk right past me, like just behind my butt. And so I'm like, hold up, like, didn't need to be that close. Anyways, so that's the back and bicep workout for the day. About to go ahead and knock out my cardio. I'll see you guys back in the lab here in just a second. All right, so that's done. Let's go ahead and, I don't know if you guys, I know all of you guys probably, most of you guys have a Walmart in your area if you're stateside, but they have these Scent Theory hand sanitizers. This is Brazilian coconut. Smells lovely. Wife hooks me up. She gets these, a couple of them at a time for me, different scents. Clearly this one's gone right here. A little bit left, but you see the sun blew this one up. At Arizona sun, ain't nothing to play with. But as you guys saw, felt like it was a really good workout. The gym didn't get too packed. I went a little bit heavier on back starting about 2 weeks ago. So on what I really wanted to focus on, of course, is the whole back. Right, I hit my lats, I hit my mid back, I hit my lower back. I think what I'm gonna do because I think just getting that lower back is incredibly important, just to, again, strengthen your lower back. I just think a lower back being strong is important for any person's general health. But I think I'm gonna integrate, I haven't done them in a few years, but rack pulls. I know some people view them as like quasi deadlifts. I don't do deadlifts. Not that there's anything wrong with deadlifts, I just don't do them. But I love rack pulls, especially when you're doing them right. Work on that Christmas tree on your back. If you don't know what a Christmas tree is, Google it. Christmas tree back. But I feel like it was a really good workout. I'm beat, so I hit my back, I hit my cardio, or I hit my back, hit my buys. I usually hit the sauna for about 10-15 minutes afterwards. I did that just to kind of loosen up a little bit. Excuse me, just to loosen up a little bit. And then when I did my cardio, watch a little YouTube. Shout out Demi Rocha. Your videos are always long enough to where I can go ahead and get a nice cardio session in. So I appreciate you, my dude. Another YouTube channel, if you're not familiar with them, Demi Rocha. I believe it's DEMIROCHA. Great content, quality content. Dude crushes it with his quality on his videos. So shout out to my boy again. I appreciate all your support, dude. And yeah, it was a great workout. Tired. Haven't ate too much today just because I've been on the go a little bit. So when I get back now, I had some chicken thighs, some quinoa, and some veggies waiting on me to go ahead and warm up, because I did meal prep yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned in my previous videos. Sunday I grocery shopped. Monday I meal prep, which usually I'll meal prep and do everything on Sunday, which I'm glad I took the time off to kind of spread things out a little bit. So I did my meal prep and juicing yesterday. So that's pretty much it. I feel good. Yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. If again you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe. All you folks on your journey, whether it's to gain weight, lose weight, whatever it is, follow me. And you know, if you have a YouTube channel, throw it in the comments. I'd love to go ahead and follow you. Like, I like to look at other folks that are doing YouTube content. I don't want to say YouTubers, but other folks that are putting content on YouTube. Whatever your journey is, if you happen to be watching this video, please let me know in the comment section. That way I can go ahead and follow you and check out your content and show love to you. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.